So, hey everybody, just wanted to say hi to everybody. Alan, Bananas at Large. Check out the new background. I figured I'd move to a new spot, and so you wouldn't have to see the same old, same old. Thank you for joining us today. We're doing another one of my just chats with my friends. We do these things to sort of bring everybody together, the community. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much tension and stress. And I always thought it would be nice to have people just sort of sit in with some of my friends and see the more human side, maybe the less stage rock star image thing. So today we're very, very lucky and blessed. This is somebody who I met a long time ago. I was there when he joined the band, and it was interesting when we first met. It was an immediate bond. We share a lot of common things, common values. Especially with family and stuff. Just one of the truliest, nicest people on the planet, a really great friend, and happens to be the lead singer of Journey. At this point, I'd like to introduce, if I can, my good friend, Arnel Pineda. Let's see, can I make this move? Did it work? Hey!
How you doing, Alan? How are you?
My friend, it's been way too long. And I miss you terribly.
My God.
I think last we saw each other was Vegas, right?
Yes, we had a good long talk there. And,
yeah.
Oh my God. If we could only blast this whole pandemic in just one missile of nuclear, then
right,
it'll be over. But oh my God.
It's funny.
Everything takes time.
What feels like months is going to be a blip in life, right? I mean, we have to realize, some of your posts I was reading on Facebook, you've been very prophetic and talking about healing and feeling good and remembering positive. And the truth is, this is really, even if it's a year, that's a blip in life. And we just have to, put our head down.
One day we will look at it that way. But for now, it was like, it's been way too long for everyone.
I know.
Our patience was tested. Our love was tested.
I agree.
Our love for humanity was tested.
I know.
Hatred is all over the place. And, we're trying to stop it. But other people are so persistent to,
I agree. Yeah.
To spread it. But I think, but for me personally, I still believe that love will always have to prevail.
Right.
We need to make it work with love, not hatred, because this world, in a way, it doesn't need us.
Right.
To become beautiful, and we are the one of the best beneficiary, or like that. We are so blessed, and we're trying to take it for granted. And I hope the few people who cares like us for this world, well, we'll become we'll be heard someday.
You and I we talked about just in Vegas. You and I were talking about tension and stress and negativity and all that, and we both, I think, in our own way, were saying. You have a choice of what you can put out into the world, and you can choose to be positive. You can choose to add value and good energy, or you can be negative and all that. And I always love that, that you and have always, every time I see you, even as stressful as certain things get, you find that path to positive, and I think that's what the world needs more of.
Yeah, I when it comes to work, or when it comes to humanity, I don't let pressure or negativity get in the way, because we don't, as we know, life is fleeting. It's so freaking short. and then a lot of us people still manage to to choose to be angry, or be bitter about trivial things, when in the grand picture we just have to be two coexist and
right,
harmony and pace, because I think the world is still like, he still and will always provide us with everything that we need. We just have to be more giving and more, more careful about taking. I mean, it's we
I
have it. We got
and
it.
being, I think, more open. Being more open and accepting and
Yeah,
willing to receive. I think, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I got to point something out. So I've known you
Right.
so long that we both had black hair when
I know. And now look at us. We're facing each other. Yeah. You know what? Wisdom happened,
Right.
but it has an after effect.
Yeah.
We just have to learn to embrace it.
I call it
Yeah,
fatherhood.
yeah, yeah. The father look
Right.
and the better husband look.
Right there. Okay, sure. I'll take that.
Guess what? We're wines now. Like 50-year-old wines. Getting better.
I'll take that. Sure. I mean,
Oh my God.
I think watching you and I both are probably the two silliest dads on Facebook. We're both willing to humiliate ourselves with the kids and have fun and still be
Yeah.
kids at heart. And like your slam dunk the other day, that was awesome.
I know, right? My God.
How was the family?
And he was like, and he wasn't even sorry about it. It's like he just did it. Are you okay, pops? Can you keep up? It's like,
Yeah.
my God, what a rude son, right?
Well, I don't know if you saw, my daughter kicked my ass, with karate.
Yeah.
Like, beat the hell out of me on camera.
Yeah. They're all turning us into a punch bag
I know.
and a good for nothing slave, in
Right.
the house.
How is the
Cleaning.
family doing during all this? How is
They're
everybody?
wonderful. Right now, they're doing their online school, so we'll be finished in a couple of hours, and that's it. But my son, Carol, whom met many times, he'll be he'll be until 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon for his online school,
Right.
which I think the time would be 11 there for you guys.
It's amazing. So I mean, that's something we're both sharing too. Is with the kids like having to do this online at home. It's a new world for them, and it's I think it was very stressful in the beginning for us. We found a pod, so the kids at least get to interact a little bit, but it's
That's true. But you know what? How's the internet there with you guys? Because here, I think it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of detrimental or problematic because some of the parents of the children here, they're having a hard time, subscribing to a better internet because of their capacity to to earn a better, some better money because of that. There's a lag in their internet, and their kids are having a hard time, keeping up with the lessons and all, and listening to the teacher. So that's why my son was like, he was like kind of he was kind of sad for his other classmates because I feel bad for them. He said because I don't think they'll be able to keep up for long because they have weaker internet.
yeah, I think that's a
That's,
problem
that's bad.
everywhere.
That's bad.
Yeah. There's some things here going on where I think some of the companies are donating Wi-Fi to people, but it's you're right. It's a whole other world, and I don't think they were prepared for it. And I think even the teachers, I sometimes sit in and listen in on them, and they're doing the best they can, but everybody's winging it, and
I know.
hopefully we
Oh
get through
my,
this.
because this is just freaking weird because it's the whole world, and now the whole world is relying on these machines up there, to send them, and it's only, I don't know how many satellites do we have to provide this
I don't know.
this
Do you think
signal?
Terminator is about to happen, right?
I know. Oh my God. I'll be back.
Right.
We gotta get Ross here.
Well, like we were saying, I mean, hopefully this is a short blip, and we can get through this. And I should mention, I don't know if everyone realizes, anybody that's watching, but of course, Arnel's in the Philippines right now. This is our transcontinental international connection here. So
It's amazing, right?
it's totally awesome.
You know what happened to technology, all right?
I
I
know.
mean, I know. I mean, a friendship that's supposed to be, like what do you say that uninterrupted.
Right.
It becomes smooth, and and you can just connect anytime you wanted to, and you don't lose touch with with a lot with all these people that you cared for, and love the most,
So
so it's amazing.
it is crazy. So tell me, I mean, I when we do these chats, I try to avoid, the typical interviews. It's just us chatting. I've been watching
Yeah,
you, and I love watching the cooking. Seems like you've really
I
picked up on the
know.
cooking thing. Is that like just like
Oh, yeah.
moved up in the hobby thing to
No, I think it became a hobby in the 90s, and then it became a career because I had to cook for my wife, and then for my upcoming career back then in 2005. And so it's like I just want to make sure that what they eat is really nice, and so I really I try my best to be good at it, so I could serve them better as as a father, and as a husband to my wife. And
yeah,
I think I love them so much that I just have to give the best of me for them. I'm into them.
yeah. I think before the COVID piece, when Meredith would be working in Walnut Creek, the cooking thing really fell on my shoulders, but I enjoyed it. And I think for the same reason,
Right.
it was like a blessing to be able to put together for my family. And it really actually calmed me down and gave me a something to do after work and clear my head. It's very
Yes.
cathartic.
It helps me too. It's very therapeutic for me. And then I would go to the wet market, choose for the right fish, the freshest one, all these meat, and then all these fresh vegetables that I get to buy, and then excitedly bring them home, and then think about what to cook for them first. So it's like, it's kind of divert me from the pressure of trying to finish a song that you can't figure out. You just had this idea, right? And then
Right.
when you try to finish one song that you try to write, right, like that you thought about, it's an idea, and then you came to the point that, oh my god, I can't go on and remember what's happening. It's like you got interrupted or you got distracted. So you have to stop it, drop what you're doing, drop the song,
Right.
and save it to your phone first or wherever you recorded it, and then go somewhere and like do something else, and
Right. Yeah.
take yeah.
I agree. Let's not talk tech though. I don't want to answer any technical questions.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know we got to cover your eye lock in still, but
You can try once in a while, but just make sure I will understand your tech language.
it's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So you talked about you're doing something that I'm less brave to do. You're actually going to the market and
Yeah.
this time and
Groceries and wet market. It's what? It's kind of dangerous.
yeah,
But what can you do? I'm the daddy here. I'm the husband. I
yeah,
gotta do this, but I just try to make sure that I'm well protected every time. I don't touch other people. I try to I try to time myself, try to find the perfect time to go to the market where it's not too crowdy, or where.
right,
So that's what I do. I just have to learn how to to go around things here, so I can I I would avoid getting infected.
yeah. Do they give you your space when you're out there, or do you still find people are
Oh
trying to
my
come up
God,
to you?
you won't believe I'm already like full covered, and then they would see my tattoo and then said, "Highway Run," and then you would sing like that, or "Don't stop, Billy," and then say, "All right, okay,
Yeah.
now can I buy a fish?" Or so it's
Yeah.
like
So tell me, I mean, inside of all of this stuff, that's going on. Again, I was looking at a lot of your Facebook posts and stuff. What do you think? What kind of life lessons are we going to be able to pull out of this? What do you think when this is over? What are we going to garner from it?
yeah, hang on. You know what? I'd like to think that we're all gonna come out a better person, wiser, and I would have more. How do you say that? Would have more care and more. Oh my God, there's this term. There's a word that I can, I can get it out of my tongue. But we have more regard of how precious our life is. So we, sh- I think we should. This is the right time now, the perfect time for us now to think things over, and
Yeah.
reflect on things, ponder on all the good things that we've had back in, when pandemic was still not here. I don't know if it was man-made or if it was like politically produced virus, because they'd rather choose this instead of World War III or something. But I think we shouldn't really resort on destroying humanity and the world,
Yeah.
because it's we're only one.
Yeah.
Our lives, we only have one chance,
Right.
to make it bad, or we make it good for us, or to leave a legacy that
Right.
lasts a lifetime. And for the mother, we only have one home. So
Right.
I think we should really, like gather together, and as the Beatles said, come together, and really, right,
Right.
and do good.
Yeah.
Just do good. Enjoy the music, enjoy all those positive things that we've built, that we have invented. Share it to a lot of people. Learn just and learn to forgive, and
Right.
like I said, I repeat it again. Let's please try, regardless of, no matter how different we are. We it's just hard. We are just all unique, so unique, but we had just have to learn to coexist in harmony and in peace. And I think the world will be a better place, and we all of us will be better person, and
Do
you
you,
know
when your kids are bad, do you put them in a timeout?
yeah, yeah.
Timeout. So,
I
so
did something, but I
I was,
talk to them. I
yeah.
make a deal. You
So I
can
was
do
thinking,
this. Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking this
Go
is
on.
Mother Nature putting us into a timeout.
Yeah.
you know,
No, we are the mother nature because we made them.
she
So
said,
we're like,
right. So
we're taking over.
she's putting us in our houses and making us quarantine, and she's like, this is a timeout. You guys,
But they do that to us too, right? They
yeah,
make us time out too. It's like, stop,
right.
my turn.
So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's
It's
great
crazy.
times. Well, so I want to talk about maybe what coming back to your singing and your voice and all that. How did you know you were meant to be a singer? When did you know?
Five. I was 5. I was like later on this old, like, ancestral house, tiny one. It's like we're like on the side riverside. They have, like, the Pinedas have a house there. I was there on the second floor of the house. It was all made in bamboo. The whole house is made with bamboo. My mom and my auntie, they're both passed away. They were dancing. It's been a hard day's night, and I was like this late like that, and I was like, and then I really loved it. Then I was like, that was the start, and then and then, like, before I became 6, I was already listening to a lot of, like, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 songs, Young Happy, whoa, happy. So those were the first song that I've sang.
Wow.
Like, I was like 5 going to 6, so I knew then that I could sing.
Right.
But then the lyrics were also wrong. It's like I just okay. It's like I hear it this way, so I pronounce it that way. Whatever it is.
That's pretty cool. So you
So
said the Beatles obviously was an impact.
yeah, and, Can Buy Me Love. I
Right.
guess. Oh yeah, those are the songs. And then as I went along my life, and then I met my bandmates and my first bandmates in 1985, in where and then I realized I'm more into rock and roll, and then I love more the Beatles, more obscure songs. Those. It was 20 years ago today, and then Penny Lane is in
Right.
my ear, those like that, and hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello.
Nice.
Oh, those.
Was that band? Are we talking about Zoo, or is that later?
No, it was like 85. I was with like this band, EOS band, and then it's spelled YJOS.
Oh,
EOS.
okay.
It's like it's a Mexican HIJOS, that
Okay.
EOS. But then we turned it into IJOS instead of YJOS, and then it
Why
evolved.
not?
And then when we joined the these national band competition, rock wars, we
Right.
became ammo, all male only band, so yeah.
What I remember when uh, I, I can still remember the day when Neil was on the YouTube and at the house in Corte Madera, and I'd go over and he would be listening. And a lot of the videos were out of Japan, though. I think you had moved for a while to
No, Hong
Japan.
Kong. No, no, no. I moved to Hong Kong. I just
Hong
moved.
Kong. You're right. I'm
But
sorry.
no,
Right.
I just moved back from the Philippines because I have to go home to my wife. So those videos that I've shot was from a gig in Subic Bay in
Okay.
Olongapo. It's an ex U.S. military base, and the one in Hard Rock Cafe. So my friend Noel Gomez uploaded this, and he made his account, and I guess it took him about, oh my god, 1 week to upload the 64 songs that
Right.
Neil listened to. So it
Yeah.
was amazing. I can't believe, like, like, you listen to it all. I was asking him, it's like, oh my god, how patient are you? It's like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, since we're talking about it, I mean, that was, you know, a period where we were hanging out almost every night. This was before my kids, and he had rented a place down in Corte Madera, and so I'd pop over there on a regular basis. We'd hang out and stuff. But there was that week where when he found those videos, and it was amazing. I'd come over and first thing out of his mouth was, "Dude, listen to this," and and it would start off, and it was Queen and Survivor and all this stuff, and it was mind blowing. But it was most interesting was really watching him listen intently to you, trying to weed out, not in a bad way, the band, but really focusing on your voice.
Yeah, because the backup was like really bad, and
It wasn't bad, I don't think, but the mix was hard. You were just
yeah,
in the same mix, and he's got such an attuned ear. It was amazing watching him really pick apart when you were doing runs and things
yeah.
that I had to go back and listen and but that was a great time, man. The first time you actually came out at the house, that was great.
Well, I was like how to say that, I was like in nervous wreck. It's like I was horrified and terrified with 2 hours sleep, and then jet lagged, and you got to do like a 45-minute audition in front of them, and then do your best with 2 hours sleep. It was like, I was,
I felt for you, man. I trust me.
what what the hell I've got myself into. It's like, and then after that, I was like so sore already. And then he said, "All right, go back to your room, sleep. We'll do it again tomorrow." Oh, I was like, "Okay." Oh my god, I need 3 days, but no, go back tomorrow and then let's do it again. So it was like a torture for like 5 days of that. And
Well,
until Jonathan decided to come to Nevada to their old house, and
right,
and just record my songs. Like, I want to hear you record this. Let's see what I hear. If I hear that journey sound, and then we'll decide. And so
right.
That's what happened. And then the next day after recording, I think one original song that they collaborated with was that the the other singer that they were supposed to get,
Right.
the one
Well,
that
he,
they go with Never Walk Away,
yeah,
and then just lie in separate ways, and when you love a woman, and
right. I remember.
so then the next day I come back. Neil Sean personally picked me up in a hotel, and then he was like down there. I was up like on the was that the mezzanine of the hotel. I was having my breakfast and said, "Dude, you made, you made the gig." Fuck, really? And then the more's like, "Oh fuck, how in the hell?" Because I was expecting that I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Because all along I believe that I just like I messed up like 200%. It's like I know I'm not gonna make it. It's bad. I was hearing my voice. I was cracking here and there. I was like up to here, up here, and it's like, oh my
No.
god. But then but that was how I was hearing. But see, maybe it was just my brain telling me, get out of there before you embarrass yourself. If you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
before
Self
you
there.
really embarrass. So it was like a self-preservation thing, It's like,
You were. I think we all do
oh,
that. You prep
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you prep in your brain like in case if they say no, you could say, well, I know why,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
because I
yeah.
did all this. But really, you killed it, man. I heard those recordings. It was
Thank
great.
you. But one thing that I did like positive about is like I brought all the cities that I own, like Journey,
Right?
just in case they hate me, sign them all. At least I have a proof that look, they signed it personally.
Yeah.
That's how simple I am. That's like,
You,
I'm just a fan back then, I mean, until now, like, oh my god. And talking about being a fan, it's like, they just send me a couple of songs, and I mean, like, oh my god, how could these guys keep up? I mean, keep doing like, amazing melodies all these years.
yeah.
Push them. So I'm gonna work on these two new songs that they just gave me. Just sent me.
They're all. Yeah.
It's
It's
amazing.
great, man. Yes, I'm excited for you.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, moving on from the subject, I got the chance to be up in Healdsburg when there was a few people going through the ranks and stuff, and it was interesting how just dichotomically different you were from everyone else that came through the door. Just with your you humble, you were honest, such a different vibe than anybody else. Because you remember I used to sit in that back corner on the rigs over by Neil and just hide in the corner.
And I look at you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you could tell like that. Just the energy was very different when you were there, and I mean, I had a great time those few days, and
You and I were the same. We always want to be at the back.
yeah,
I wish I could do how Rod Stewart used to do when during his first gigs, hiding behind the amplifier when he was singing.
oh right, I forgot about that.
I could do that perfectly.
Well, my favorite part of this is actually over all these years when you and I would always joke with each other, even like just this last gig in Vegas where I'm supposed to be like watching Neil and paying attention. You and I are like
Yeah,
messing around and
I was throwing something at you, right?
yeah, exactly. Always.
What?
Well, I remember it was it's because I think you had a wrong phone number, and so you were so worried about me, which I loved. That was great. And
Oh my god!
you were like, Alan, what's wrong? But
You
then
know
the whole
where the number came from?
I don't know where.
In Dubai. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I've never been to Dubai. Sorry.
Why am I discussing instruments and life with you in Dubai?
But it's amazing. I mean, even to this day, like even then, I can tell when you go out there, how, like you said, it's still you're still a fan, and you look around, and then Neil will come over and doing something, and I can see in your face, you're just like, what a cool place to be right now.
Yeah, amazed. I mean, like, my God, I mean,
Yeah.
what a blessing. It's always so surreal to feel it feels so surreal to be on stage with them all the time, every time. My God, every night that we're there, it's like it's just, my God, this is happening. Why?
Yeah.
Why? But it is. But so you just, I just gotta be.
I
I just
gotta
gotta.
say, of all the bands that I go out and I watch and I work with and see, it's interesting because Neil, Jonathan, you, the before the show, it's very reserved, and sometimes you're tired and you're just there, and then the minute you get out there, it's like the electricity hits you guys, and especially I love watching Neil. The energy just changes him, and I love when he's having fun, and then you guys are playing off each other and stuff. It's like it's amazing to watch you guys still be able to do that, and you can see it's all sincere, and you're having a great time, and you're really, especially you, I can tell you're so focused on that one person in that back row. You're going to connect with them, and you're going to make them have a great time, and you're going to get them there. And that's amazing for you because
You know what, for me, Alan, I believe if you were able to work on that guy, and then they look at that guy, they're all, they're all gonna get it.
yeah,
They all get it. That's why for me, I don't I don't want to, I mean, to impress everybody. I just have to impress this one people, and they will see it, and
right,
they will know.
yeah.
They will know. It's amazing how empathy and sympathy works. During the, like, oh my God, it's having fun,
But
and
that's
then
you, yeah.
and then
That's
this guy's not bad at all. So they
yeah.
might just well have fun now. I mean, come
Well, I
on.
remember like the Def Leppard tour where the two of you guys were on, and nothing against Leppard. They're nice people, and I'm friends with Phil and all that stuff. But the way that Joe Elliott is, he's got a performance, he's got a thing, he's experienced at the crowd commanding stuff.
Yeah.
It's a thing that he does. Whereas with you, it still feels so natural, and that you really are, focused on finding those people in the crowd and really connecting. And I think that's a big difference, man. And it always inspires me.
It's been always my aim, to connect with them, look them in the
Yeah.
eye, and then tell them, hey, you know, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here tonight, and let's have fun,
That's it. Let's have some fun. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell me, take me through some of your prep. I mean, in Vegas, it's the 10 humidifiers in the room. What are some of the things as a vocalist? What do you have to do to prepare for a gig like Journey?
A lot of water, silence, and then when it's time to stretch your voice, you gotta stretch it, but don't overdo it, because sometimes what happens, I remember, because during the during 2008 and 9, I know that Jonathan means well when he was like trying to stretch me and all, but sometimes I cannot just say no, but I already feel that I'm overstretching myself.
Right.
So what happens is, so when I do the gig already, like when we have to go on stage already, I'm kind of sore already because of that. But at the same time too, it's like, so now I've over the years I've learned how to go around it. When I feel like I know I'm already on on that saying, I would just like do the, those breathing stretchings, and then try to hit these notes, but not too overly, like, like hard. If I know that I hit it, then I go down again. And so it's just like it's all these rituals and preparations, the careful rituals and preparations, that gets me, gets me to finish the whole stretch of the show, every night.
That's a tough gig, man. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no breaks. I mean, you're just
especially,
going song to
yeah,
song. And,
especially when we went back to E. It's not flat anymore, right?
I forgot about that. Right.
For 5 years we were on flat, and then now we were on E. But you know what? I think I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. A lot of people are saying, that's, because they say that those old comments that it's he's always doing this Steve Perry voice. But then I said I would I would I would tell them, if you take a listen, carefully take a listen to Revelation and all, you're never gonna hear Steve Perry there.
No.
It's different. It's different. The only thing that you hear, it's because you get, how do you say that? You get hypnotized by Jonathan, Neil, Ross' presence and Steve Smith's presence there, and you think it's just me there. And then I am sending to you the soul of Steve Perry's
Right.
voice there. But it's a different voice. It's never gonna happen. I can never replicate that kind of sound. It's
And
that's why
it's not even worth the chase. I mean, it's
I
not.
know, I know, I
You are
know. That's
you,
why
and
that's why I, that's why I am so lucky. I'm just so lucky that it happened to have the same like structure of voice like him,
right.
that I can do what he does, and and maybe more at my advantage, to my advantage, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to his disadvantage, but oh my god, it's
Yeah. So
Alan.
okay.
Alan, I used to sleep a lot with Barry's voice.
Yeah.
Ears this close, I sleep with his voice. It's like, he's simply my hero.
Okay. So you brought him up. Let's talk about it. Let's go back to New York when we were at at the stadium, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we're in the two rooms. And I had gone by earlier and said hi to Steve, and then as I was leaving, right shortly thereafter, you and him got together. I mean, I know you all got some good pictures. I got some good pictures. That was a pretty big moment for you, and
One of the biggest.
right.
One of the biggest.
But can I tell you, after talking to him after about a year later, and I was chatting with him on the phone, it was a big moment for him too.
My God, I waited 35 years for that
Yeah.
to happen, and I remember, Alan. It was 2000, late 2005 or late 2007
Yeah.
or late 2006. I resigned from my work and I was like kind of drunk. And then I said, my God, I lost my voice and I have to be gone with this only thing that I do best. And I didn't even get a chance to. And I was joking to my friends, like I didn't even get a chance to sing side by side, Steve Perry. What a shame, what I said. What a shame to my life, I mean. So, but then,
There's still time.
no. But then, 2007 happened, and Neil contacted me, saying, "What the hell?"
Well, I gotta tell you, man,
And then,
that was amazing. And the words he said to you, I remember very clearly. That I think he felt a sense of almost like he felt safe passing the baton. That's sort of the gist I got from it, right? Like once he got to meet you and feel your honesty, your integrity, right? You have just a lot of character and really good integrity, and I think he sensed that. And he said, essentially, I'm passing the baton, and I almost sensed a sense of relief, like he felt like things were in good hands.
during his speech, I was behind him. I was like 12 feet away from him.
Yeah.
I was just speechless.
Yeah. Can we talk about the outfit though?
I know, right? Oh my God.
I love that suit you had, bro.
You's got a story with you but off the record though.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was my God.
That night was incredible, right? I mean,
But Alan, I almost went back in black.
yeah.
I almost changed it, but I stood by it. I gotta wear it. I love it. I love the
It was
color.
an awesome. I
And,
love
oh my God. And it was like, who's that guy? He was like sponsoring my shoes, and he was like when he saw him with that, and then this one rapper, like Black American rapper, he was like, that was one dope, dope suit, So I
Oh,
was
Snoop.
like,
I know. Yeah. So I mean, that night was just, for me, I had a blast. It was so much fun. At one point I was left to guard Neil's guitars because Neil was concerned about all the people that were coming through the stage left. Everyone was entering on, if you remember right. And so I'm standing there, and all of a sudden these two just massive bodyguards. I mean, their necks were bigger than my body. Right? They come walking in, and it was Snoop, and they all wanted to come over and look at Neil's guitars. And I'm sort of thinking, how am I saying no to these guys?
Yeah, right.
But they ended up being so nice, and they were so friendly. And of course, the first thing they mentioned was,
you can
you're
have
out.
the guitars,
Yeah, it's like, there you go.
I'll just explain later to Neil,
Yeah,
all right.
but it was.
They just check your credit card, right?
Yeah, they just wanted to take pictures. They literally just wanted to like stand by Neil's guitars and take pictures with me. And I thought that was the most hilarious thing. And then, Snoop, I think he loved your outfit. It was the coolest thing. And, but that whole night was just great.
And then I get to shake, what's that? The singer of Rush.
Oh, Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee. Oh my God. That was epic. I was like, I just approached him.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Geddy, may I shake your hand? I'm just such a big fan. And then I said,
yeah,
I just said goodbye. It's as simple as that. I don't even want to have a chat with him because I know how busy he is. So.
I got to know him because was Scotty Appleton around during? I don't think Scotty was Neil's tech when you were around, but. So he was okay. So he went to work for Rush. So I got to know the guys.
Oh, what a lucky bastard!
Geddy was so nice, and he was that night. He was actually really not feeling good, and
no wonder.
You'd never know when he got on stage, man. He hit a home run, but he was not feeling good.
And then you know what? Who's one of the most humble guy that I met that night? Besides, I mean, my God,
Lenny.
Besides meeting my hero Steve Perry, like being euphoric and all like that, hugging him and
right.
like that, was John Anderson of Yes.
Oh, right.
He was so super freaking humble. He was even the one who asked me to have a picture with him. My God, it's like I told him, John, don't you think it's too much? I think it should be the other way around. I should be the one asking you for a picture. Why are you giving me? No. It's okay. It's okay. I know you. So we had like a.
Well, yeah. At least
what a humble guy.
You didn't have a height disadvantage there. So
but he can still slam dunk on me. It's like he's 2 inches taller. So we're like,
oh.
Yeah.
It's funny actually. When they went on, the drummer Bill Bruford. He literally came running off the stage and he stood right in front of me with his drumsticks and he was listening and just wouldn't move the whole time. And I was like, that was a weird sort of thing, but they are all so nice. And Lenny was super nice. He was great and wanted to meet Neil and all that stuff. That was a blast. What a great,
And then I didn't know that was that a Pearl Jam's guy. Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
He was calling me out for a Neil Young, song, but I already left.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, I regretted that.
We were all looking for you.
They were all looking for me. It was like, so, Mr. Eddie Vedder, if you're listening right now, watching right now, I'm now ready to jam with you.
Okay, so they were putting all the guitar amps and setting everybody up, and they stuck Neil like sort of off the very end of the stage.
Yeah.
And they put Jonathan's piano somewhere in the middle, and I was like, you're going to put Neil Sean at the end? I'm like, no. And I had a secret weapon. I brought a 200-watt rev amp out of Canada, and I told Neil, I said, we're not going to use your regular rig. I'm going to bring you something that's going to cut through and make sure that everyone hears you tonight. And he trusted me. And it was the funniest thing because when you listen to the playback, the only person that you actually can hear clearly on that entire stage of guitars is Neil.
was
and
Neil, right?
I remember I made them move his rig, over, and it was that was a funny night, But the Pearl Jam guys were super nice to him, and were just, they could tell they were revered to his skills.
I love Pearl Jam. My
Yeah.
God. It was an opportunity that I truly regret, like a lost opportunity.
Yeah,
Damn, I would have been able to stand besides amazing Eddie Vedder, my God.
yeah. There's always another time somewhere.
Yeah.
Somehow, right?
Let's just keep on surviving so we
Right.
can, we can get to that point,
So, all right. So let's talk about singers. Who were, I know Steve Perry, obviously, but who else were your inspirations? Who were and who still are? Who inspires you?
Ann Wilson,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, John Lennon, um, uh, John Bon Jovi, Bono,
Yeah.
John Farnham. I like Brian Adams too, and the greed of Lenny Kravitz, and was that of course Robert Plant.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, okay.
Oh, the singer.
So first off, I was just thinking when you said Ann, do you remember the
Ann
tour
Wilson.
with them
I
and
had-
Keith Trick,
I had the honor to sing with their Open Arms.
right?
That was very memorable. She was so sweet. I wish it would happen again. I don't know. Maybe they should tour with us again. I miss them. These two sisters. I mean, these two ladies. They're super super nice and sweet.
I could imagine as a singer that was an intimidating tour with Robin Zander, right? I mean,
I know. Chip Trick. I know.
he still sings like, I mean, just well, that guy's great. And then Ann Wilson, and you got to follow those two.
I know.
I thought, wow.
And I just have to develop a thick face, every night. Every night, it's like you just have to switch, and becomes something or someone else that that I do not know about, that exists in me, and so.
I think it probably helps like raise up that bar. It makes you want to, achieve.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all, as humans, we're by nature a bit competitive. It's hard not to be. And when you have, people like that, it makes you want to just go that next level, I guess.
But Alan, you have to give it to the boys too, because they stood by me, and no matter how sometimes I messed up, or I kind of not in their loop, in not in their game, and they were always there for me.
Yeah.
They guided me. It's like they were my angels. They put me under their wings, and and then we flew together. No one's got left behind. It's like they didn't like, they did like, hey, all right, kick your butt out there, stay in the middle, sing.
Yeah.
But it's not just like that. It's like, they look at me, they were trying to give me a good vibe, so that I would not feel that terrible pain of fear, that I shouldn't feel in the first place, because it's unimportant, it's irrelevant during that moment, because the people, the audience, the fans, they are onto something wonderful, or nostalgic that day. So that's what you just have to give.
Well, that is, I mean, honestly, you earned the job. I mean, there's a reason you are the lead singer of Journey, and it's so I'm sure it's because you're so humble and so down to earth. It's hard to sometimes remember that. You've got this, man. It's like you go out there and you've got it. Even.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy it. If my opinion matters at all.
It matters so much, Alan. It matters so much.
I got to be honest with you. My favorite though was so I want to take us back to Neil and Mikhail's wedding.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, my mom came, and you chose. I'm trying to remember. Was it Tony Bennett or Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. Unforgettable.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
So I mean,
unforgettable.
you melted my mom. She was like in heaven over that. And then the fact that it just showed me your versatility. I mean, you really did own that song. It wasn't like you were just singing it to sing it. You know, that's a comfortable genre for you.
Yeah, this always. That's why you know what? All these singers are asking me, "What's the secret?" You know what? You don't really need a very good voice. You just need to be in tune.
Right.
No, really, in tune,
Yeah.
and put your heart and soul on it, and the people will feel you.
Right.
Because Alan, you and me believe a lot of great bands out there
Yeah.
have singers who doesn't really have an amazing voice, but they can carry a tune, and they've got a heart and soul, and their guts is like
Right.
it's a mother effing guts. That's why people believe them. They
Yeah.
get it. They get it. You know what I mean, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'd
You know
rather
those.
I'd rather listen to a singer who was owning it and believed it and and you sense that
Yeah.
than somebody with mistakes or not than somebody who's you know, perfectly in tune and you know, does all the right moves and all
With
the
no feelings at all. It's all technique.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he pulled it off, but how come I didn't feel anything?
Yeah.
Right? It was kind of bland. The way I heard it.
Yeah, there's so much around this, like, you know, American Idol and The Voice, where vocal gymnastics, it's just gotten out of control, you know, and it's fake emoting, and
Yeah,
you know, it just doesn't sell. It doesn't come across, and I never believe it. And if I don't believe the singer, I'm out. I
yeah,
check out.
yeah, and compare it. That singer was singing like those gymnastics,
Yeah,
whatever acrobatic uh voice is doing, and then this one you hear singing a simple somewhere over the rainbow, and then come
yeah,
on, and then he gave or she gave all of his heart and soul, and then who you gonna go for, right?
yeah. I mean, what was the is right the ukulele player? Uh,
Yeah.
you know, a simple voice, and not, you know, he didn't have vocal gymnastics, but you
Are you talking
believe.
about this Hawaiian guy who just
Yeah.
passed away, or is he?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, I believed everything that came out of his mouth. It was pure and honest, and you know,
I
uh,
met him. I met him in Hawaii.
wow.
What a pure soul. What a pure
Yeah.
soul. He's amazing.
You saw him live, and it wasn't
Yeah,
always as perfect, but you always believed it. You had that honesty and that integrity. That was pretty amazing.
because he has but his heart and soul for you. To
Yeah,
offer, you know.
yeah. He was definitely giving.
As a
Hey,
singer,
tell me about. So, okay, I got to say that there's one thing. You're the only person I know that has a movie made about him, I think.
now, yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's,
Maybe I
it's yeah. You're asking me about it. It's coming along well. I
yeah.
think it's gonna happen. Just waiting for for the people to be safe, and then I think we're gonna, they're
So
gonna start shooting it.
I remember when we were in, I think it was Tennessee. We were watching the first run of the movie, right? And the whole time I remembered that they had filmed some parts where Neil and I were razzing each other and stuff, and I kept thinking, oh God, I hope they don't put any of that stuff, because
Yeah.
some not so nice words were kind of, but you know, it turned Yule into my, you know, I gave him my nickname of Hollywood, so you know, forever Yule will now be Hollywood.
Well, he will always be Hollywood. That's who he is.
Right.
You're the Hollywood,
So
or
okay.
you can just say Yollywood.
Oh, I like that. It's better Hollywood. So tell me, I want to talk about like, I man, I hate to sound like I'm just heaping praise on you, because you know me well enough. I
Go
don't.
ahead.
You love it, right? You're just such a giving.
My head.
I mean,
Look at my head now.
yeah, it's getting big. It's actually just the humidity in the hair.
Yeah. It is. Hey, the humidifier, please. Come on.
Right. But as you've gotten more famous and you've taken on this mantle of, you know, an international rock star and all the things that you are, one of the best things about you is your charity work. And I wanted to sort of touch base on the things that you're giving back. You recently had the We Heal as One concert. Tell me, what was that about?
Again, the concert.
The We Heal as One.
Oh yeah. I think I'm just trying to, to raise some funds for these kids, because we're trying we're trying to keep, because of the pandemic, it's just so tough for these kids, my our 32 scholars, to, continue their studies. So we're trying our best. And my God, I gotta give a mountain of kudos to our donors, because without them we cannot do this. Just me and my wife, and there's, these people. I'm not gonna mention names. You know who you are.
Yeah.
And my board members with my PFI, they're doing a fantastic job. Helping me out, just to keep these scholars of ours floating. So to keep them from, from not skipping in their school. So
Is this
they're still in school to these days, even though there's pandemic.
is this
Thank
uh,
God.
uh is this the focus of the Arnel Pineda Foundation? Is
Yes,
that what
it will.
you're?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the focus of the foundation. We may be doing, missions, like feeding program, medical program. It's just on the side. But for
Mhm.
me, the main the main scheme of the foundation is to, to attract the kids again, to go back to school, and not resort, due to poverty, not resort on, doing petty crimes or prostitution, or, I mean, prostitute themselves, so, or, join the gang and be a criminal, so that, we are trying really to sway them away to that kind of life, and, be I mean have a brighter future with education, because, like I said to my daughter, Thea, TikTok is temporary. Being smart with education is forever.
Right.
So which do you choose? Okay. Sometimes most of the time, what you see in TikTok, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not against about TikTok, but, I
I know what
know.
you mean. Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, are maybe earning a lot of money with that because they're getting a lot of followers. So I have nothing against that. But for my kid, because she's my concern, I'm telling her that.
Right.
Not, no pun intended, to, I mean, to degrade TikTok. But for me, I'm just trying to, to convince my own daughter, because she matters so much to me, that she has to focus on studies as much now, as we try to, we try to focus on convincing these kids, who lives in poverty, to go back to school. And if they cannot afford it, we as the APFI, and with our donors supporting us,
Right.
they can continue studying, and they can continue dreaming for a brighter future, and, for them and for their family.
So if somebody wants to get more information or maybe donate, they would go to
you know we
what?
have. And then we I'm actually I'm actually already incorporating my APFI with my website now, arnelpinedarocks.com. So
Got it.
you go there, you'll see everything, all of the events that I do. Or if you have any concern about, if you want me to join your, online gig or whatever, or we collaborate or do some fun or whatever, and to help APFI, it's all there. Just contact Ulysses Session, the Hollywood Boy, and
Yeah.
Boji Uncle, or Yvonne. So it's all there now. It's gonna be there.
All right, so I have one other one I want to talk about, is because it really, I love the song and I love the message, your soldiers, your soldiers own,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
About all about first responders.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they are the new soldiers now. So I call them your soldiers. And then I think the two of us too, we're soldiers too. We go out there risking our lives, getting infected, just to be able to provide for our family, and, yeah. I got some moved, Alan. I saw them. The first month that the government, imposed the lockdown here in the Philippines. It was March 15. A lot of people still went out there. These, nurses, doctors, drivers, motorcycle drive, the riders, truck drivers, delivering fruits to the market and everything. And, the just doing their thing,
To
to
take care of
make
us.
us, the general mass, feel that nothing's amiss,
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a great song and a great message, and you're absolutely right.
so
I mean, yeah, we have to look out for those people that are looking out
that's
for
true,
us.
that's true.
Right.
And now I am re-releasing a song. It's a Christmas song. I'm working on it now. I tried doing the vocals yesterday, but the voice was not like, was not working too well for me. So I got to rest. So I gotta take a break. But I don't know if you heard of this song. It's called This Christmas. So
Yeah.
I wrote a one. So I'm re-releasing it with I changed a few lyrics, so it would fit more with our current situation right now.
I got it. I think you actually played that for me a while ago. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah.
And I wish it's so funny. It's when you call sometimes and we talk about gear or we talk about some issues or stuff like that. It's like I so wish I could just jump on a plane and come out and work with you and engineer and we could, it's like I kind of want to go in and twist some knobs and just help and fix.
I know. Thank you,
I can't dive through the screen.
Alan. With our friendship, there's no time and space.
I know.
It will happen. It will happen one of these days.
I know. I can't
So,
wait.
that's
All
it.
right, so I got to ask, just because I have not taken on the COVID challenge of the push-ups, I was.
Yeah.
Well, how
I
many
do.
push-ups are you at this point?
I do it every day. 2 sets of 50 every
Oh
day,
my God.
and then 1 hour to 1.5 hour in treadmill.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
Fast work. I gotta do it. I gotta keep the voice. Otherwise, Neil
Yeah.
will kick my butt.
So my exercise these days is I just pick up each kid in each arm. There's one twin and
That's
one.
a great exercise already. But
Exactly.
Alan, you're looking good. You're looking
Oh well,
great.
thank you. Thank
Come
you.
on.
So are you.
But for a guy with no exercise, you're claiming? Oh my God, look at you.
You know,
You're looking so healthy.
I have to move a lot of equipment every day, so that's.
All right. Maybe you're getting a lot of bedroom exercise, right?
Hey.
That's your secret.
So anyway, oh my friend, oh my God, I miss you.
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta ask, Queen or Toto?
Both.
Pick one. Come on, who is it?
One.
Queen or Toto? Queen or Elton
My
John?
God, I forgot. Freddie Mercury also is my hero.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Freddie Mercury.
I love watching you sing that stuff. All right, so Queen or Elton John?
Queen.
Okay. What's the other one I know you like? Police. Queen or Police?
Oh my God. I don't know, but
You
Police
sang a
is
lot of Police songs.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's just say like this. I would listen to Queen first and then would relax with Police. That's how I would say it. I would wake myself up with Queen and then inspire myself with Queen and then would continuously inspire myself with listening to Police and then Toto and then that's how I do it. That's how I do it.
So Meredith just sent me a text. She says, "Arnel, my mom is watching."
I'm sorry, Meredith.
Yeah, you're gonna get me in trouble.
I know it's supposed to be a man cave.
You got the New Jersey girl. I mean, she's gonna come. All right. How about this? Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page?
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Okay, Jimi Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen?
Oh my God. Can I say the two of them?
No, pick one.
Oh my God. Okay, Jimi Hendrix still.
All right, Jimi Hendrix or Neil Sean?
Give me a gun. Can I just my hand? All right.
All right.
But you know what? With fairness to Neil Sean, you know how much Neil adores Jimi Hendrix. It was he's like, my God. Oh my God. I just sent him a picture of that. Like I don't. Was it him and Van Halen together, or was it him with was it Jimi Hendrix young? And then I said, look at this, Neil.
I mean, not to veer off topic, Neil and I have been friends for a long time, and I have a lot of respect for him. But man, it's still so inspiring. I mean, just the songs he writes, his dedication to the craft, and really the dedication and
Oh my God.
focused on the band. But yeah, he blows me away. All right, so I think the last question I got to ask is, of the 3 ballads, which is the one, Faithfully, Open Arms, or Patiently?
Patiently.
Yeah,
I love it.
I like
I
that one.
just love it. It was it's I like the way it moves and its melody, and it's so simple.
Yeah,
It's you don't even have to think about what did it say? What did it say? It's like it's just right there, straight to your heart, like that.
yeah.
Mel-
Well, my friend, I think we're past the hour mark.
But open arms and faithfully, man, how can you disregard a song? But it's but it's
I
just right there.
I agree with you. Yeah, they're all right there. I mean,
Yeah.
more or less, I'm just giving it a hard time. You gotta have some fun.
I know. Oh my God! Like if you hear me being mugged, but like some 2 white guys, like playing keyboards and guitars.
Yeah.
In the future, I'll blame it to you. Okay.
I'm not going to get you in trouble. I promise. I've got your back. I'm one of the few people who has your back.
Lean on me,
right?
When you're not strong.
Well, my friend, I've truly enjoyed this. I can't thank you enough. I think hopefully we put some positive into the world and made some people laugh and smile. My goal with these is just let people in for a minute and see them have 2 friends having some fun and getting
Alan, we just gotta keep on trying.
Yes.
As long as we live, we just gotta keep on trying. So are the people out there, and then these people were making comments right now. You just gotta keep on trying to make the world a better place to live. Okay.
Yeah. This is all about we're all in this together, and it's a positive world, and let's keep putting positive stuff into it. Man, I miss you so much, my friend. I can't wait to see you again soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Give my love to your family. Yeah. All my love to your family, and we'll talk in the next couple days.
Love to your family too.
To you, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Arnel. Have a great night. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.